Right now at noon, a Beloit man faces charges for fleeing police officers and causing a crash and gas leak that forced residents to evacuate. And President Trump meets with communities trying to recover from this past weekend's mass shootings.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
And we start with breaking news into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. Police are responding to a man with a weapon at a Gannett building in McLean, Virginia. The building is home to USA Today and several other businesses. Fairfax County Police tweeted about the incident, asking people to avoid the area. The local CBS station is reporting an FBI source confirmed no shots were fired and no injuries have been reported. We'll have updates as we learn more on Channel3000.com. Also, just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center, prosecutors are still considering whether to charge a 24-year-old Madison Lyft driver who was arrested after a sexual assault allegation last week. According to a police incident report, a woman said Jeremy Foley stopped short of her address, locked the doors, and told her to perform a sex act on him. A Madison police spokesperson says the case detective is reaching out to the rider to tell her charges will not be filed against the driver. To the weather center now, warm and humid, a chance of storms later today. Here's Dana Fulton with your first alert forecast.
Right now it is just a little toasty outside, but very summer-like, not too hot. Just, temperature-wise, we're going to watch our temps climb to the mid-80s this afternoon, but a lot of blue sky. Currently, the storm chances aren't going to build in until later for us. If we do take a live look at that Edgewater sky camera overall, again, blue sky, just a few high clouds. We're already at 81 at Madison and in Lone Rock, 84 in Boscobel, and about 82 in Janesville. So we're just a little above average, and we still have a few more warming hours ahead before we hit our official high for the day. Our Doppler track is calm right now in southern Wisconsin, but we do have the chance to see some stronger thunderstorms pop up later this evening as a cold front swings through. Most of the severe potential is going to stay up to the north, around the Green Bay area, but we may see a few stronger thunderstorms, that marginal risk stretching through southern Wisconsin. But we'll break down that future track and the rest of the week. Good news for us, Mark. After this front slides through, it's going to be much more comfortable for Thursday and Friday. But we'll take a closer look in just a few minutes.
Let's get that humidity out of here.
Absolutely.
All right, Dana, thank you. Residents in Beloit are back in their homes this morning after a driver trying to escape police crashed and caused a gas leak overnight. A City of Beloit spokesperson says a 29-year-old man refused to pull over for an officer. When he blew through an intersection, the officer ended the chase. Shortly after that, the suspect crashed into another car, rolling it onto its hood and into a pole at Harrison and Woodward Avenues. He also hit a gas line, forcing people within a one-block radius to evacuate. An Alliant Energy official says about 40 people lost power, but everyone is back home with the lights on now. The suspect was arrested for fleeing and other violations. Authorities say 2 people are dead after crashing into a guardrail on I-41 in Washington County. It happened on I-41 in the town of Polk just before 10 o'clock last night. Officials say 2 people were thrown from their vehicle. One was pronounced dead at the scene. The other was airlifted to the hospital and pronounced dead there. Investigators are trying to determine how the car hit the guardrail. A vendor at the Wisconsin State Fair was ordered to remove a controversial T-shirt on sale. The T-shirt said LGBT, which stood for Liberty, Guns, Beer, and Trump. At least one person complained the shirt was offensive to the LGBTQ community. Online, other people took issue with pro-gun shirts in the wake of the 2 mass shootings over the weekend, but the vendor was only asked to remove 1 shirt. President Trump and First Lady Melania are in Dayton, Ohio to meet with the victims and first responders of this past weekend's mass shooting that left 9 people dead. Before departing the White House, he said he's working with congressional leaders on new gun laws. Dayton's Democratic Mayor Nan Whaley tells CBS this morning it's time the president takes action.
Instead of just words, I want the president to do something to make sure that these kind of senseless acts of violence stop happening.
He's not welcome. He is as guilty as the shooters because he has hate. He hates us.
It's not the right time. You should wait a little. We're still healing.
In El Paso, Texas, where an alleged white supremacist killed 22 people at a Walmart, some people don't want the president to come. That includes El Paso native and Democratic presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke. He is taking part in an anti-white supremacy and gun violence event ahead of the president's visit. And Walmart's CEO says the company will respond in a thoughtful and deliberate way after recent shootings at its stores in El Paso over the weekend and in South Haven, Mississippi last week. He made the statement in a LinkedIn post, but didn't offer details about whether the retail chain's policy on gun sales would change. Walmart is one of the largest sellers of guns and ammunition in the United States. New at noon, a conservative think tank has filed a federal lawsuit against Governor Tony Evers, alleging he violated First Amendment rights of staff members who were denied access to a press briefing. The McIver Institute for Public Policy filed the lawsuit yesterday, citing an Evers budgetary briefing in February where 2 McIver reporters were denied access. The lawsuit also alleges Evers' team does not send press releases that other news outlets receive to McIver's reporters. Evers' spokeswoman did not have an immediate comment. More local news now. We are 1 week away from the end of last year's leasing season and the start of a new one, and that means you'll soon start seeing unwanted furniture, clothes, and who knows what else piling up along Madison's curbs. Madisonians affectionately call this hippie Christmas, but for the Madison Streets Division, it's one of their busiest and most frustrating times of the year. While dumpster diving diehards sift through students' trash to find their own treasures, Moving Days routinely puts 1 million pounds of material into local landfills. That's why the Madison Streets Division is asking you to donate any items in good condition and bring old electronics to its center on Badger Road. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
It's time to name a produce pick, and we have one that'll have you smiling from ear to ear. Really, it will. I absolutely love this time of year since so much fresh produce is at its peak. You know exactly what I mean if you've been to a farmer's market or the produce aisle of your supermarket lately. Look at these tomatoes. So juicy and tasty, we could eat them like an apple. Imagine them sliced on a burger or as the crowning jewel on a salad. And if you haven't tasted the fresh sweet corn this season, you're missing out. It's super sweet, and when you bite into it, each kernel sort of bursts in your mouth. And sure, we can eat it boiled, steamed, or roasted and slathered with butter, but we came up with a fresh corn dip that is summertime perfect. After cutting the cooked corn off the cob, we combine it with some shredded cheddar cheese, scallions, chilies, and roasted red peppers. This gets mixed with sour cream and mayo, along with a bunch of spices. Then we serve it out of a rye or pumpernickel bread that we hollowed out to make it look party perfect. And whether you dip fresh veggies or chunks of bread in it, you're gonna go bonkers over how good it is. To get the almost addictive recipe for fresh corn dip, simply visit our website. I think you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fresh from the field way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Corn is good this year. Thank you, Howard. Next, a sunny and warm day, but you might need the umbrella later on. We have chances of showers and possible thunderstorms this afternoon and tonight. Meteorologist Dana Fulton will have all the details next in your first alert forecast. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues. You can call the hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. British Airways is canceling flights due to an IT failure, and stores are running out of bulletproof backpacks in the wake of recent mass shootings. Mark Silverman has your Money Watch report.
We might start seeing fewer inspections at more than 90 of the nation's nuclear power plants. That's if the Nuclear Regulatory Commission prevails in an effort to cut costs. Opponents are denouncing the recommendation as a public safety threat. Nuclear power is facing stiff competition from renewable energy and cheaper natural gas. Another big day on the earnings calendar. Bank of America reported higher than expected profits for the second quarter, a sign of strong consumer banking. The nation's second largest lender posted profits of $7.3 billion, up 8% from last year. Netflix will also announce its earnings later today. They're the first of the big tech companies to release Q2 numbers. And when it comes to streaming services, Netflix passwords are the most shared. Research analysts say about 14% of Netflix users are entering a password that belongs to someone outside their household. 11% of Hulu users are doing the same thing. Amazon Prime Video users appear to do the least amount of password sharing. And today is National Hot Dog Day. According to a new Offers.com survey, 33% of respondents chose mustard as their favorite hot dog topping, while 30% chose ketchup. Onions and relish got just 11 and 10% respectively. Today, 7-Eleven is offering Big Bite hot dogs for $1. Sonic's chili cheese coney and its All-American dog are also just $1. Just enter the promo code DOGS in the Sonic app. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Mark Liverman.
All right, that's an old report. Do not go to 7-Eleven. It's not hot dog day, just for a heads up. At the noon hour, the Dow Industrials down 205 points. The NASDAQ down almost 30. The S&P 500 off 17. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee's out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Dana has your first alert weather. Nice for now, maybe stormy later.
Nice for right now, yes. So if you're trying to take the lunch break outside, great plan. Early afternoon walk, great plan. Later this evening, though, may want to keep an eye to the sky. Here's a live look at Platteville with our Queen Bee radio sky cam. A lot of blue sky, a few clouds out there, but no clouds bringing any rain just yet. And the storm chances that are going to develop later on this afternoon may not impact everybody. The chance is really starting to stay more north towards Green Bay. Our Doppler track is nice and quiet right now. We do have a few isolated showers and storms up towards Rhinelander and the very northern edge of the state. That cold front, though, is going to continue to sink south, and as it does, that just means the storm chances start to increase throughout the state. But it is off to the northwest still right now. It's going to steadily push south. The good news with this front, what we didn't see with that front earlier this week, it's actually going to help cool us down and help pull away some of that moisture. It's a little bit stronger. So looking ahead to your Thursday, Friday, and into this weekend, it is going to be more comfortable outside with our temperatures behind this front. Also will be less humid, which will be a nice change of pace for the next several days. We're at 81 already in Madison, 80 in Dubuque, and 86 in La Crosse, about 83 in Milwaukee. So throughout the area, no big temperature divides just yet. Again, as that cold front is still well off to the north. Temperatures are already right close to average, if not just a little bit above, and we still have about 3 or 4 more hours to hit the heat of the day. So these temps likely climbing into the mid-80s around Dane County this afternoon. Compared to this time yesterday, it is a little jump, but our temperatures, our dew points have also jumped quite a bit in the mid to upper 60s right now. Similar to yesterday, but again, they're going to continue to climb through the rest of the afternoon. So it is just warm and humid outside. Our shower chances, we're going to watch them to the northwest first, steadily sink southeast. Most of the heavier rainfall, though, is going to stay up towards Green Bay and Fond du Lac. That shower activity could be bringing some heavier rain and some stronger wind gusts if that's where you're headed for this evening. The rest of the area, we're looking at just isolated storm chances, and those storm chances, again, could bring heavier rain and stronger wind gusts, but they're not going to be nearly as widespread as that earlier front we saw this week. Thursday will calm and quiet throughout the state. A breeze coming from the northwest, and that's actually going to help our temperatures in the afternoon barely get to the upper 70s, so it'll be very comfortable outside Thursday afternoon. Friday, we start the day off close to 50. It'll be a nice day early in the morning and even in the afternoon. Mid to upper 70s for afternoon highs. Some high pressure starts to ridge in and keep things pretty quiet throughout the Midwest. Overnight, plan on a mostly clear sky once these shower chances slide on through. We start to later in the afternoon, right around your commute home, see some showers entering around Black River Falls and Camp Douglas later this evening. Again, the heavier rain is going to stay to the northeast, but we are going to have a few isolated strong showers and thunderstorms pass on through. Overnight, we become mostly clear. By tomorrow morning, temperatures will be close to 60 for our overnight lows. Thursday afternoon will be very pleasant outside, comfortable temperatures and much less humid. By Friday morning, again, temperatures falling into the mid to low 50s. It'll be nice and comfortable early in the day, and we're planning on another afternoon with a mostly sunny sky and a drop in that humidity. So over the next few hours, we still have to warm up to the mid 80s, and then we will cool back on down. Our breeze is going to stay fairly calm from the west, except for those isolated storm pop-up spots. Overnight low of about 62, again, becoming mostly clear, and we do have the chance for some patchy fog developing as we head into the early morning hours. Temperatures landing in the upper 70s for Thursday and Friday, and then by Saturday and Sunday will be just a little warmer in the lower 80s there for the weekend. The good news, though, for this weekend, even as we're in the lower 80s, we're not expecting any jumps in our humidity there for Saturday and Sunday.
And that makes a big difference.
It really, really does. We could take 80 and not humid much more than 85, and when it gets too humid outside and too sticky, you can almost cut through the air.
Yeah, it was bad. And the threat of severe weather is lessening as we go along.
It really is, yes,
Well,
yes.
good.
Yesterday it was looking more of a slight risk. Now we're already down to a marginal risk, and it's really not improving for us that chance. Some isolated spots. So.
All right, let's keep an eye on things. Next at noon, Angie Horkin joins us from the Wisconsin Beef Council. She's sharing some recipes, help us savor every minute of this summertime weather. Coming over, Dana?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, we'll be right back. Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council is here. You got some great summer recipes.
I do.
Dana smelled while it's cooking. Had to come over.
Drifted right on over.
So what do we got here today?
I almost need a bigger table today.
Yes, you got a lot of going on here.
I have a lot of stuff. But I've got a lot of veggies. It's that time of the year because the gardens are getting ready. But I have flank steak, which I pounded thin.
And it comes in a package like this?
Comes in a package like this. And then take it out and invest in a meat mallet. Use the flat side. And actually put the steak on your counter, big cutting board, between two pieces of plastic wrap. And I'll kind of so then you don't have stuff flying all over.
Yeah.
And pound it thin, flip it over, pound it again. Makes it a little bigger. And then stuff it with sun-dried tomatoes, capers, that gives it the salt, and then some basil and fresh parsley.
That sounds good.
That sounds
And
delightful.
I did it in the food processor. You don't have to. You could chop everything up really fine. Otherwise, throw those ingredients in the food processor, and that's your stuffing, and then roll up your flank, and then tie it. And I got 8 pieces out of mine, and then you want to cut it across the grain. So roll it up so the grains are running this way, and then slice across the grain, and that's going to tenderize it. Otherwise, usually you marinate flank steak. Like I love marinating it for fajitas.
And how long do you put it on the grill?
A little bit longer, about 15 minutes, because these are pretty thick pieces, about an inch, inch and a quarter.
Wow,
So
is that per side?
No, total.
Oh, total.
I do 5 minutes, flip them, do another 5, then check them. It's a little bit harder to put a meat thermometer into a pinwheel like this with the stuffing and everything, but once you get the outsides all done, I got a nice little char on the top, you know it's ready. And then just put it on a bed of arugula, and then some roasted sweet corn, and then some roasted red pepper, which you can do the same time as your steak. And then you could top with a balsamic glaze.
Beautiful.
Make
right.
your own or buy it in the supermarket like I do.
All right, we got less than a minute.
Okay, so gazpacho steak salad, it just screams summer. So I've got a bed of mixed greens, and we're gonna add green pepper, tomato, cucumbers,
Whatever you like.
whatever you like, or
Everything
garden
fresh.
stuff. Mark, you stir that up. Then I made a homemade dressing. And now I used a can of spicy V8, and then in there is some garlic, some red wine vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, some more tomato, some more green pepper.
And I'm putting this on
Wait,
it?
hold on.
Gotta put
And
the
then
meat
the
on.
chuck
Meat first.
steak. Don't forget the beef. So this calls for chuck steak, but you could use any steak. But chuck needs to be marinated. Marinate it in a second can of the spicy V8, at least 24 hours, so overnight in the refrigerator. Now you can put the dressing on.
Okay, here we go. Beeftips.com.
And then grill the chuck. Beeftips.com is this where you can find these recipes. Click on As Seen on TV, plus a lot of other great, really fun summertime recipes, chock full of vegetables and everything that's ready this time of year.
Great.
Beautiful.
Final check of the weather.
So we do have some storm chances developing later on this afternoon and evening. Just keep an eye to the sky. Most of the storm chances will stay up towards Green Bay, but then we're much cooler and comfortable for the end of the week and the weekend.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.
Hey, Dennis, can you get a picture of us?
Hey,